There is no doubt that Antarctica, located in the South Pole, is that continent of the world where nature does not allow even a single human being to come. It is the coldest, most remote, most desolate and happiest continent of the world, but despite all these problems, humans have been living here for centuries. But the question is, how did this happen? Once again, in the CCOTV video, Nazarene, Antarctica is such a beautiful and big continent that the whole of America and the whole of India can fit in it together. Imagine that 98% of the surface of such a big continent is filled with deep ice. So deep that in many places there is only ice for a distance of 5 kilometers. Actually, the temperature here goes up to -60 degrees, but once or twice a year it gets hot here. Even in this heat, the temperature here is -12 degrees. Because the temperature here remains below freezing point throughout the year, this is the reason why there is not only snow here. Every year 2 inches of additional snow falls in Antarctica. Though this figure is very less, but for the last crores of years the layers of snow have been increasing by 2 inches each. It is not only snow and high temperature that create the conditions for life here, but in Antarctica there is almost no humidity. Normally we have 40% to 80% water in the air, which is very beneficial for human health as well as for the ecosystem, but in Antarctica the humidity level is only 0.0%. This is the reason why diseases and dehydration of the body are very common in Antarctica. Along with this, at a depth of 980 feet below the South Pole sea level, there is a minimum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. It is at an elevation. It is not that deadly, but for most of the people this elevation increases their height. The bottom line is that Antarctica was not made for any living being, leave alone humans, but still humans are present here, and there is only one reason for this, and that is research. Just like space was also not made for humans. There are paps for the poppies. Similarly, scientists are also sent to Andaman and Nicobar for research. This is the Spot Amundsen South Pole Station. It is an American base where 150 scientists and staff stay in summers, and in winters, there is only one way for them to reach here, and that is by road. It is not vulnerable and cannot be made due to deep snow. Here the runways are not made from concrete or tar, but from such a thing which is found the most here, i.e. snow. The snow is made smooth by running a roller on it, on which the planes can land. Even for landing in Andaman and Nicobar, the pilots are given special training first, because these are not ordinary runs but very skilled. In cases of cargo, instead of the landing gear of the plane, a special landing gear is used for it. This is done because the weight of the cargo is very high, and if the tires are fitted in its landing gear, then they can also sink inside the snow along with the landing. The South Pole American Station was first built in 1956 with wood, which immediately got covered with snow. In 1974, it was updated and a giant U was given the shop. The whole base used to stay inside this U, but this application of the Americans also failed because every year during the winters, this U also used to go inside the snow. Because Antarctica is in the South Pole where there is sun for 6 months and there is no night, and for the next 6 months, there is night and then the sun does not rise. Due to this, during the 6 months when there was only night, the U could not be taken out of the snow, which means the staff had to wait for the next 6 months, during which it was taken out of the snow by digging. This took time, and he also had to go through school. In 2008, America came into the field with a new approach, and after racing with the Americans also made this thing. The special thing about this wing is that its shape is aerodynamic and it is raised a little above the snow on hydraulic pulleys, which does not allow snow to accumulate above and below it, but even after every 10 years, snow accumulates below it, but then it can be easily appealed. The end tackle is a free continent, that is, no continent turns it on. Here, 29 continents have their own researchers, but the question is what kind of research happens in the South Pole, which is not possible anywhere else in the world. Here, most of the research is space-related and anatomical. Actually, The air normally present in the sky blurs the sky, and if we put a telescope in a tropical atmosphere, then we cannot see very far. Due to the absence of humidity in the South Pole, the sky appears very clear and the telescope can easily see millions of light-years away in space. This is the photo of the black hole which was taken in 2019. This photograph was captured for the first time in the world. The telescope installed in the South Pole played a major role in capturing this photograph. Apart from anatomy, research is also done on ice. How was the climate of the Earth millions of years ago? What particles and gases were present in the air then? All these are hidden under the ice of the ice and ice. Ice cores are taken out for research, and it is found out what happened here during which period. Due to the harsh weather conditions in the South Pole, very few researchers are sent here. Researchers only make an equipment look and have to send all the data out of here to their respective countries. Just like there is only one way to come here, similarly there is only one way to go out from here. There is only a period of 3 months in the South Pole, in which the air remains dry for the rest of the year. It is almost impossible to go out of here, even from Antarctica. If there is a place far away, it is in Humanity International Station, but if the astronauts present here want to be invited to the station, they can fight in the ocean at any time, but the option and technique of evacuation is not available. In case of emergency, DOS are present here, but in severe cases, a panel of DOS sitting in America is also present through video link, but this video link works on the internet, and here internet is also a big challenge. In the rest of the world, internet can be operated on remote locations through satellite. Commercial satellite, music, does not pass over the South Pole. That is why signals from satellites are not received here. There are only a few satellites whose signals come over the South Pole, and that too only for a few minutes or an hour. To use internet here, one has to wait for a specific time. Signals will be received only when the satellite passes close to the South Pole. In the entire 24 hours, internet is available here only for 3 hours and 50 minutes. During this time, scientific data is also transmitted and researchers are able to connect with their families. Apart from this, way management is also a very big issue in South Pole. According to international law, it is everyone's responsibility to keep this station nourished and healthy, because if even a little pollution happens here, it can affect scientific research. This means that whatever comes here has to go back immediately. Here the station's waste is collected throughout the year and transferred to the make mudship present on the campus, where this waste is cleaned and then transferred back to the ship that comes only once a year. In the winter season, there are only 45 people at South Pole Station. These people are selected for this mission after being checked very carefully, because this is the period in which if any emergency occurs, then it is impossible for them to go out from here or to introduce them to the outside world. They are fit to deal with any kind of situation. In this period there is only night for 6 months. In-situ detention and homesickness attacks are very commonly found, and in these difficult times, even communication is almost non-existent. Surviving entirely on limited resources is such a feat and accomplishment of this profession that it is very valuable for me to show it in a small video. I hope you all will like and share this video of CCOTV as well. I greatly appreciate your kind comments. In the next amazing video.